And we're live. Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to start out this live stream by saying just how authentic we try to stay on this channel. And wow, that was really a rough one. All right. So 711, not a bad number. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SoulPet. This is the Elaine, the animal Reiki lady, and this is the channel that is dedicated to all of us who have been through the loss of an animal companion, whose animal companions have crossed to the other side, no matter where we happen to be on that journey. You will notice from all the comments that I see going on already, trying not to read them as I was trying to get my computer to cooperate. We have a really supportive community. We've got a great group here, and we meet every single Monday night, just about, because we almost didn't get to meet tonight. We meet every single Monday night to talk about all kinds of things as it relates to our animal companions on the other side of life. And I have a little bit more that I want to share about that. We work through each other's issues, or we work through each other's journey as we work through grief and guilt and remorse and just that deep sense of loss, and how to reframe that. We really want to reframe it. And that's what our animal companions are trying to show us. So on this channel, we talk about all the ways that we can help our heart heal. And then we go a lot deeper too. We go into the woo-woo side. I love my metaphysical, spiritual things, and I'm a seeker just like you guys are. And our beautiful animal companions have showed me so many amazing things. So I want to be able to share all that with you. And that's where the halos come in tonight. We are literally going to talk about halos. And I don't mean metaphorically, our animal companions on the other side are now angels who have earned their wings, and we picture them with a halo. I'm literally talking about halos. It's really a cool subject that came up for me this week that I want to share with you. But before we get into all of that, I do want to say hello to everybody. So if you're not a normal live stream watcher, you might want to scroll ahead a little bit, or you can just play along with the comments. This is a place where we come together for conversation, where everything is authentic, where it's come as you are. So today, like this is come as you are, because today, you guys who've been following me the past couple of weeks know that my mama was staying with me for a few weeks. And today I came back from Philly. I dropped her back off at home and flew back in this afternoon. And so, yeah, so we're just like, it's come as you are. We talk like normal people. So if you're expecting like a polished video with a script and all that kind of stuff and all the perfect lighting, yeah, this is not it. I revel in my imperfection. But let's say hello to everybody. All of my channel members always get a big shout out first. Now I know Pat has already reached out because now my screen is so small that I can barely see the comments, but I had to do it in order to make the live stream work. Pat has already reached out to say that he's volunteering again tonight. So Pat, we are missing you once again. You'll be watching it on the replay. Thanks for the shout out to remind everybody to please. I really dislike it. There are some podcasts that I enjoy, but at the beginning of every one, they give the whole spiel about, like and subscribe. And please do, just because we're trying to get this channel out there. We're trying to get this out to as many people as possible, because there's a reason that our pets are coming through to us. Okay, so let's say hello. So I just gave my shout out to Pat, and I did get your comments, and I will be talking about those because I asked for stories. If you've ever had a halo moment is what I called it. The halo moment is where you ever had not just a synchronicity, but something that was so clear and so unmistakably a sign from your animal companion that there's no doubting it, that it changed everything for you. And those are the stories that I'm going to share with you guys. And if you didn't see the community post, because I don't think you saw it, Sharon, go ahead and put a little comment in, because I'm going to keep the comments scrolling throughout tonight's video. I'm going to keep watching them because people may have stories that they want to share. And it's not just about receiving signs. It's about receiving those unbelievable signs. So hello to Pat, and hello to Kali, and hello to Sharon and Sherry. And I'm going to try and come back to all those comments, and we'll see if anybody's got any questions as we go forward. Z, great to see you. And somewhere in here, I thought I saw Donna. There's Kali, there's Cheryl, howdy doody. Ms. Nunya, New York business. Sharon, no, I said hello to Sharon, said hello to Z. There's Kathy Reynolds. There's Donna. I knew I saw Donna. And I'm just scrolling down to say hello to everybody, because I love my channel members. You guys are so awesome. I can't wait to see some of you are signed up for the class that starts on Thursday. I'll talk more about that at the end. And thank you for all the good vibes. I really needed them. And I tried, and I did a pretty good job of not losing my patience as my computer was not cooperating. Yeah, it's usually me, like me, myself, and I. That's all I got here. My tech team is me, and I wanted to, me was having some trouble tonight. Dana, it's great to see you. I said hello to Kathy R. Did I see Kathy H? If I overlooked you, Kathy H, I apologize. And I think that's everybody. And if I see anybody else as I'm scrolling down, I will say hello. So let's say hello to everybody else, because even whether or not you're a formal, like signed up channel member, you guys are all my all my crew. So let's see who else I've got here. I know I saw Julie from Florida. I saw Luke's mommy in here somewhere. There's a lot of comments now. So if I missed anybody, Ella, hello, hello. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm trying to scroll through pretty fast so we can get down to business here. All right, we're good. I think we're good. Oh, Lisa, there you go. Hello, hello. All right, I will go back through the comments and look at some of the questions just to see if anybody has anything. It looks like you guys have been chatting amongst yourselves. And that's part of what we do here. So part of what we do is not only I try to offer you everything possible. If you've not met me before, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master, an animal chaplain, and an animal medium. And my whole beautiful channel, this beautiful soul pet channel, was inspired by my dog, Lucy. I had 3 seniors who crossed in a very short period of time, 2 within 1 week of each other. But it was Lucy, the very first one, the black lab, 13 years old, who came to me in a dream, part of what we'll talk about tonight, about those halo moments, so vividly in a dream that I had her tattooed on my arm so I would never forget that dream, which I can't anyway. Um, and and so I try to share all the insights, and I'm going to kind of explain to you how that works in just a minute. I try to share with you as much as I can to help you heal, but then we also have this beautiful community of souls who help each other, who talk back and forth, who share advice, and we welcome everyone with a big giant virtual hug. Everyone is welcome here. This is a no judgment zone, no matter where you happen to be on your journey with grief or guilt, or the passing of your animal companion, or like some of us who have kind of transcended that. Like I think of Pat, who has transcended that. Sherry, there's a couple of you who I know have been able to rise above what normally would have been something that's so dense and so hard and so painful that it would have kept us from moving forward. But our beautiful animal companions have shown us the way how to move forward. So I want to share a couple things. The first thing that I want to share is that, and I already mentioned this, I am a seeker just like you guys. I am in search of something bigger. I am so certain that there is more to this life than we have been led to believe. And I now have, it's gone from thinking that to believing that to knowing that. Like that's like the scale that I would call that. I used to think it and I used to question, and I was a healthy skeptic. And most of you know that I'm a corporate dropout. I was in corporate for 35 years before I had my little awakening. It's a phrase that's a little bit overused in the spiritual community these days, but that is essentially what it felt like, an awakening. I used to think things, and then I thought I believe them. I really do believe them. And now I just know, I know when I share things with you, sometimes I will have to tell you that I have no proof. I have no written proof of what to tell you other than what I know and what the animals have shown me. So this is how I want to share how this happened, because I want to tell you how I got to the halos and what came up for me with halos is that I'm always looking, I'm always seeking, I'm always exploring. I always have been. I've been a lifelong learner. And when I was in corporate doing the traditional thing, you can always, throughout my videos, I share various stories about when I think back to that person, who she wasn't a bad person, but she certainly was not who she is now. And she certainly did not understand animals the way that she does now, not by a long shot. And I learned the system of Reiki, and I became a Reiki master. And you can look up more about that. I can always share more about Reiki. It's simply a system of, you can call it energy healing, but it's not that. It's about accessing the quantum field. It's about accessing the field of love and living it and allowing your heart to be open and your mind to be quiet so that you can access more information than you ever possibly had access to. And when you access this love, all kinds of things happen, from healing of illness and injury, but more it's about finding calm and peace and centeredness and groundedness and connection. And you go through different levels and blah, blah, blah. I became a Reiki master, and I knew that throughout the process, that it was animals who were, I was just feeling drawn to working with pets, and I couldn't figure out a way to make that happen. And I wasn't even sure that it was a thing, but then I did learn that how to share this system of Reiki with animals, and that's when everything changed for me. And there's a reason why I'm sharing this. It all changed for me because I animals were the ones who taught me all kinds of things. They taught me patience. They taught me how to be still. They taught me, I wanted to connect with them. I joke sometimes that I want to be Snow White, right? I want to see the birds sit on my shoulders. I want the deer to come eat out of my hand. I want to be able to reach out and touch the bear. Don't worry, I wouldn't do that. I had bear in my experience when I lived on the mountain. And I respect their individuality. That's the other thing they taught me. Animals taught me to respect them as sentient beings, as each one has their own personality, their own preferences, and most animals do not have the ability to act on their own agency. They know what they want, they know what they love, they know what they want out of their life, but human beings have really encroached on that. So animals taught me to see them as unique individuals, and that's really all any of us ever want. Every single one of us. I don't know if from the people who I know so well in this in the feed over there, to all of you who I may have never met before. I know that you think the same thing. Everybody just wants to be loved for who they are, just for who they are. They're without all their imperfections, all their perfections, in everything about them. We just want to be loved without judgment, unconditionally. And that's what animals taught me. They taught me how to love unconditionally, how to open my heart, quiet my mind, to release the judgment, even though judgment is a hard thing to let go of. We judge each other all the time. Let go of the judgment and see animals as individuals. And when I did, that's when things started to shift. That's when I started to understand that I was getting messages from animals. And my practice then became working with animals at end of life. I was really drawn to, for whatever reason, I had the emotional capacity to help families whose animals are approaching end of life. And so my primary clients with my Reiki practice became cats and dogs and horses, a couple other animals in there, but mostly cats, dogs, and horses, who were approaching their time of transition. And then one more thing happened. They transitioned. And when they transitioned, I realized I was still connected, and I wasn't sure what to do with that, or if the messages were real. And it wasn't until my own Lucy made her transition and came to me in the dream and just showed me how to, and I can't even explain how I do it, but she showed me that I was still connected and that I could receive all these messages and to begin to share them with you. And then one last thing, once I understood that I could share messages on your behalf, the animals showed me that I am meant to teach others how to make the connection for themselves, because your animal companion is your soul pet. They share messages with me that I can give to you to help you heal, but what they really want to do is connect with you. They want you. You're their relationship. You are their person. You are their soul human as much as they are your soul animal. And I use the word pet loosely because we're not pet owners. We are companions, guardians, caretakers, partners, soulmates is what we are with our animals. So I like to give that background, because if you're going to be watching any of my videos going forward, that's me. This is who I am. And I don't even hold back anything anymore when it comes to that. This is exactly who I am. So I've learned to open my heart and quiet my mind. We talk often on this channel about coherence, brain coherence, heart coherence. I call it coherence, it's of our gut, our hara in the Reiki tradition. This channel of energy centers, whether you want to call them chakras or energy centers, it doesn't matter what you call them, to align yourself so that you're not stressed out, so that your mind isn't spiraling off into a million different places, and that stress causing your heart to beat out of rhythm, causing your gut to be upset. We focus and we get ourselves grounded and centered because we want that connection with our animal companions. We want to know that they're still with us, that they're not off on some distant place. Number one, we want to know that they're not gone, like that's it, over, done. They're not gone, that they are not far away waiting for us on some cloud far off in the future or far out into the universe, and until we die we can't access that. They want us to know that we are still connected. So we get that way with by becoming coherent. I also believe that we are all connected, every single one of us. We've all got different personalities, we've all got different likes, we've got different preferences, we've got everything. Every single one of us is such a beautiful, wonderful, unique individual, but we are all beautiful drops of the ocean, of the same ocean. We are the same wave, right? The ocean, where the wave always rolls in, rolls out. The wave is different every single time, but it's all part of the ocean, and that's what we are as well. And then I will say this, that it's become harder and harder. It's become easier and easier to say what used to be hard to say. There is no such thing as death. There is no death the way that we have been taught. Our physical body may decline. Our this physical little this little costume that we've decided to wear so that we can come down here and experience life on planet Earth, that may deteriorate. But who we are, our essence, our very soul, it it's it's far beyond this body, and there is no such thing as over. It's not over. It's just going to change, and our animals have been showing us that. I also believe, and this it's important because it's the background of everything that I talk about. I also believe in a divine creative source. I don't know the best word for it. I've talked, I've said, call it God, Buddha, Allah, the universe, divine spirit, whatever that is for you. That's what I believe in, that there is such a thing, and that there is a divine creator that has created this system that we are now in, good, bad, or indifferent. And we've talked before about communication with the quantum field, communication with the universe, communication with source. We now know it's a two-way street. So we can give feedback to that. Also an important part of the conversation as I tie all this together for you. We can give feedback. For example, I may say in my meditations, I don't just meditate to receive information, I meditate to share information. So I may say something like, all right, whatever that experience was, it did not feel like it was for my highest good. And I would prefer not to go through that again. So, this whole thing with, I'll give you an example of what I have said many times. This whole thing with the war, WAR, war. Yeah, bad idea. I don't know where it came from. Don't know why we ever thought it was a good idea. But really, it sucks. So let's shift that. Let's change that. And I think the more that we connect the way we do in this community, and the more we learn to connect with our animal companions on the other side, the more we raise the overall vibration of humanity. And not just humanity, but all living things on this earth. We raise that vibration and we raise that frequency just by having conversations like this. And that is how we shift. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and find out that we live in nirvana. Maybe we will, but I don't think we will. I think this is a gradual learning process, and our animals are playing a really key role. Why did I share all that? I share all of it because I'm always wanting to explore things. I'm in search of all kinds of things metaphysical. And just when I think I've learned, like I think, I wonder what else there is to learn. It doesn't feel like, I'm not that I'm an expert, but like I rehash the same topic sometimes again and again. I'm like, well, what's the next thing? What are we supposed to be looking at now? So I keep studying all these metaphysical things. So I read books, I watch TV shows, I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I'm very particular about what I watch, usually documentaries. I read books, I watch documentaries, I watch podcasts. I do a lot of meditation so that I can connect directly to the source of all information. But this week, multiple times, halos came up. Whenever I receive information multiple times, I know that there's a reason that I'm supposed to bring it up. And there's a reason why I'm supposed to dive into it a little bit a little bit deeper. So I started to dive into like the halo. What is the halo? And believe it or not, halos are real. Like they're real. And I'm going to hopefully by the end of this little session help you start to see halos, because I think a halo, I'll get into that in a second, but I do think that halos might be a precursor for us. So I can think of from a Christian perspective. So I was raised in Christianity. From a Christian perspective, although halos are cross-cultural and across all religions, we'll talk about that in a moment. It was like a saint. It would be a saint, a holy person who is gone, who is dead. A holy person would have this golden ring around their head. Or if you look at a picture of the Last Supper, and all of the apostles have halos above their heads. So they were meant to signify that somebody was a holy person or had achieved a certain stature, a certain divine presence, a certain enlightenment, if you want to use the word enlightenment. But I suspect now that I've been looking into halos, I think that if we look for the halo first, we then might be able to see the soul or the essence of the soul that's attached to the halo. I think the halo might be one of the ways that are, among other things, we're going to focus on animals, but it can be any soul. But I think a halo might be an indication that we are able to start seeing some things. Okay, so that was my little preamble before we start talking about this. And I'm going to look at some comments and questions real quick. All right, you guys have clearly been sharing some pearls of wisdom. Don't know what they all were. I'll have to go back and check them afterwards. Let's see what else I got. An aura ring says that I'm getting hours of REM sleep. Oh, okay. So you guys are talking about sleep. What's an aura ring? It's a, I think that's what it's a little ring you wear on your finger. Aura is the brand name of it, but it's a ring that you wear on your finger. It's like those what do you call them? Exercise bracelets, or, it's like a Fitbit, but it's meant to be worn on your finger. And the technology is such that you wear it to sleep. And then it will tell you if you're getting good sleep. It'll tell you how your heart is beating. It gives you all kinds of systemic feedback about your health. Interesting that you guys brought up aura rings, because auras are also a form of halo. So I want to make a little note of that so I don't forget some of those things. And Sharon, so are orbs. Halos, I have come to discover, are more than just this little golden ring that an artist thought they would paint over the head of a saint. It goes much deeper than that. So I am going to, I'm going to let you guys are laughing out loud. Yeah, you monitor your sleep. I personally can't do it. I've tried. I had there's another bracelet. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but they're all those health things. The Apple Watches did the same thing, Aura rings. And of course it's meant to be part of a community. So you gotta it makes it a little bit competitive, and I'm not into that at all, but I can't wear any jewelry. I can barely wear, sometimes you'll see me have a little bit of jewelry on, but for the most part, my body just doesn't like, and to wear it to bed, impossible. So, all right. Aura rings. How did I should I have to not look at the comments as we continue. Let's talk about our animal companions and halos. I had asked for a couple of stories, and this will get us started. I had asked for in the community post, and you can find, if you're looking, I try to post now every Monday in the afternoon prior to the live stream. I try to put a post, and you'll see a little tab. You'll see video. I think it goes videos, shorts, lives, posts. Click the post tab, and that's where I put so you can type stuff. It's not a video, it's information. I put a post up, and I put them up every Monday afternoon so that you guys can comment in advance. If there's anything about the topic that I'm going to talk about that you have questions or you want to share, that's the place where you can go ahead and share it. So I'd asked for some stories about halo moments. And Lucy is, of course, my big one. My personal one is Lucy coming to me in the dream. And the dream was so vivid. It wasn't a lucid dream, which we can always talk more about dreams, because I love dream work. And I have not quite mastered the lucid dream yet. But Lucy's dream was a vivid dream the night that she passed. so vivid that I remembered exactly what she looked like. She came to me so I have her on my arm as a wolf. She's got blue eyes. This is exactly what she looked like in the dream, a combination of, she was a black lab, but she came to me as a wolf. So I had her tattooed on my arm because it was so vivid. Um, that is what I would call a halo moment. There was absolutely no mistaking. I woke up in the morning, not questioning, not even going, oh, I wonder if that was really Lucy. There was no doubt in my mind that I had dreamt of her. Pat shared the story of Logan. And interesting, I think maybe this is why the aura ring came up. Pat shared the story of Logan, and Logan was one of the first readings that came through so very clearly. Like, Logan and I truly had a connection, and the things that Logan had to share with me were very they were very validating. One of the things that Logan shared for Pat, and this has come up for a couple of you guys, and I wonder, in different ways, in different forms, but health has come up in one way or another, whether it's been nutrition or that you're supposed to take different, do something else with self-care, or it's come up for a couple different people. Our animal companions on the other side have done more than suggest. Sometimes they've been very adamant that something needs to be changed in our health. And for Logan, it was for Pat to get more sun. Of all the, I mean, how specific can that be? For Pat to get more sun, and he acknowledged that he rarely went outdoors and did not get enough sun. And then there was something else too, about health changes, nutrition. It might have been nutrition. I think our animal companions are helping us, and this is not I'm trying not to be judgmental as I say this, because I'm including myself in this as well. I think our animal companions are trying to tell us that we have done a really sloppy job of managing these wonderful costumes that we've decided to wear. And that one of the reasons, I know this for a fact, I have no proof. I know that one of the reasons there are so many incidences of cancer, I'm going to just say that C word, that there are so many incidents of that is because of the stressed out lives that we lead and all of the chemical environmental things we either put into our body or breathe into our body or drink into our body. I think that we have done, and our animal companions have shared, knock it off, knock it off. I know that my animal companions have absolutely told me, yeah, don't eat another box of Cheez-Its. That's my kryptonite, Cheez-Its. So health changes. And Pat said that since he got that message from Logan, he has felt so much better. Like, his body is responding to advice that Logan suggested. Gary, so I think it was Kali who said about Gary, that a song came on while she was getting her tattoo of Gary, and it was their song. And that is unmistakable. If you had a song that you always sang with your animal companion, and while you were having their tattoo placed on your body, their song comes on, hello, it can't be any more clear than that. I'll share that uh, I don't know how to interpret all of this. I'm not even quite sure how to say it. As I was getting Lucy's tattoo on my arm, my father passed. I was sitting in the chair and it was a very dear friend of mine who does all my tattoos. I was sitting in the chair with my beautiful friend, and in fact, it made us even better friends. If we could, it's indescribable the change that it made in our friendship. As I was sitting in her chair having my tattoo, my father passed, and that's when I got the message. And all I could think of was that I knew that he was there, like, that he was with me at that moment in time as Lucy was being tattooed on my arm. He passed. I felt his spirit with me, and I knew that he was with Lucy. So, again, an unmistakable, no, I have no proof. I have no way to prove it to you, but I know that I felt it in my heart, and I know that Shirley felt it too. And the two of us sitting there in puddles of tears, as we finished this tattoo, it was like indescribable halo moment. So Gary's song, Kali, 100%, that is a halo moment. The other one that came up, and I don't remember who said this, was release the fear of death right with you. When their animal companion crossed, the message that they received was that when they realized that they were still connected, it was like this weight of, like, we all have to go through, that we're all gonna die, and everybody fights it. I mean, everything you think about, whether it's every commercial on TV that I see, I think about, if we weren't so afraid of death, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be advertising that. We wouldn't be worried about that. We wouldn't be. So letting that go, to when you know that you're still connected with your animal companion and you get such a clear sign, I mean, that, for me, it's done. Like, there's nothing to be afraid of. Absolutely no fear about that whatsoever. And then let's see, Sherry said, oh, Sherry, this is a great one. Sherry said her halo moment was a feeling of such pure love. She had never felt her heart swell the way her heart swelled. Um, and I think we may or may not all recognize that feeling. I think about my granddaughter. So the day that my granddaughter was born, I felt a love I'd never felt ever, ever in my whole life. That's the feeling. So if you've ever had that sense, that feeling of heart swell, so Sherry, I would take that unmistakably as a halo moment. Um, I'm just going to check the comments real quick. Luke's mommy. Okay, what did Luke's mommy say? I write down all of my dreams where Luke visits so I remember all the details. I love that. You guys know I'm a writer. I love to write. My copybooks, that's what I call it, they're copybooks. I have book after book after book of all of my automatic writing, channeled writing, light scripting. I've tried to come up with a name for it. I have no name for it. I simply receive, when I do that, when I journal about all the dreams, or when I receive messages that I don't want to forget, I write it all down because I want it always to be validated. It started out something simple. I make myself a note about this every time. Um, I've got to do for you guys maybe a little session just on automatic writing, because the way that automatic writing started for me was just to start writing down synchronicities. That's all I wanted to do was, okay, if synchronicities are real, and they're not just coincidences, then I'm going to start tracking them. So every time I saw 111, every time I saw 444, every time I saw a rainbow, every time I saw whatever it happened to be, or heard a song or heard a name, I wrote it down. I wrote the date. I would write the date and what I saw. And these were in little tiny journals. And then when I realized it, I had like 5 of them. And then it was like, what am I doing? I don't have to keep writing it. I believe. Okay, I got it. I believe that there's no more such thing as synchronicities. Um, this old horse girl, where I miss my Clem more every day. Oh, Clem, you know, Clem, Clem, um, still comes through to me. I can still feel Clem, and we've only ever talked about this just with a couple little messages back and forth. Maybe Clem will come through for you tonight when we talk about this little exercise with halos, because I'm going to ask you guys to visualize your animal companion with a halo in just a minute, and see what kind of feelings that brings up for you, because they are right by your side. I understand missing them. I do too. I miss the comfort. I miss Lucy stepping on my feet, and and as soon as I say that, Gypsy steps on my feet. Gypsy, who never stepped on my feet. Lucy, she was a girl. She's a big girl, and she would step on my feet, and it hurt. And then I miss having my feet stepped on. So every once in a while, Gypsy will now do that for me. I miss Jack's. I miss his big mane, that big mane that he had around his neck. I miss that. I miss Winston, who would snuggle. He was the cuddle bug. He was the one who went right up underneath my neck. I miss Chancho, the little Chihuahua who rode around the back of my neck. I know what it means to miss them, but now I know that all I have to do is call them up. All I have to do is ask for them to show me something, to remind me. And they do. They do it every single time without fail. They do it every single time. All right, let's talk about these halo things. So one of the things that came up was I'm reading a new book, and this one is a novel. I don't read many novels. It's been a long time since I read novels because I got so into all of my self-development books and then all of my spirituality books, and I've got a bookshelf over here full of all that stuff. Um, but every once in a while, I enjoy a good novel, and I like Dan Brown because Dan Brown seems to combine both the metaphysical and the spiritual and a good story. So it's called The Secret of Secrets, and I haven't gotten very far. I only got into, like, the first few chapters, but one of the things they brought up was about halos. He does a lot of symbology, so symbols, religious symbols, cultural symbols, ancient symbols, their meaning, and this was about halos, and I was fascinated by it. I just had to go back and reread it because I kept thinking about all of the symbol it is the most halos are the most prolific symbol across all cultures and religions. So everything from the Buddha to Christ to the apostles to I can't think of I don't know all the other I'm not as versed in the other religions, but even in Hinduism, that everything, all of the ascended peoples or the people who have been received enlightenment or who have risen to the point of enlightenment had halos, and halos go far beyond that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So it fascinated me to really dig into that, and then I realized that I had also okay, another guilty pleasure. I don't watch much TV, but I love I love Ancient Aliens. Ancient Aliens and Giorgio. Yeah, I just really, really get into some of it. Not that I believe that everything I think that I have my own theories about some of the things they talk about, but they've also done an episode on halos and what halos could mean. And anywho, so it got me really thinking about halos, and I got to dig into it a little bit more. So I believe that our animals, when I say that they have halos, it's not as if they've gone to the pearly gates of heaven and someone has placed a halo above their head because now that they're in heaven and they get their wings and they get to be an angel. I believe that it represents their consciousness. And I'm going to try not to go too deep into this because there is a thing about consciousness that I really am starting to explore a little bit more myself, that our awareness, our consciousness, if we were to step outside of our own body, if we were able to see what our energy looked like would it have a halo? Is that part of our energetic field? Is it part of the glow that's around us? And this comes up because of the term aura. So aura, and I hadn't planned on talking about auras, but even mentioning the aura ring, it pulls me into this, that energetic field that surrounds a body. If you join my psychic class, we're starting a psychic development class on Thursday. Part of it will be about seeing auras and how you can start to train your body to see auras, which is just the energy field around your body. We do a little bit of work that explains how you begin to feel that energy field and then how you can begin to see it. But an aura is that energetic field around your body. But the halo would be specifically around the head area. So it would be around our crown chakra, which is the top of the head, and it would be a glow. And that glow is the connection to source, to the universe. So it is a representation of our connection. So when our consciousness leaves the physical body, let's talk about animals. When their consciousness leaves their physical body, they step into their full energetic being. And I'm thinking now, like, as I look at my tattoo, I never put this together. It's not a halo. It's not a halo. There's a diamond, but there's something. Um, and I wonder if also Lucy and there's more that represents a halo to me. As I look at this tattoo, I'm seeing halos everywhere now. Um, that when our animal companions step into their full energetic body, they have a halo. And when they try to get through to us, when they try to physically get through to us, like pass through the veil so that we can see them with our little human eyes, which we normally can't perceive, that we can start by looking for that beam of light, for that glow of light, the light that we would associate with a halo. And then when we do that, we might be able to actually see them. I haven't practiced this. And normally I don't share with you something that I haven't practiced first myself, but it's just been on my mind. And when something is on my mind, that means I'm receiving that information, and I just feel the need. Sometimes it's like me, like exploring the idea with you guys. And I'm not saying that I don't know for certain any of this. I'm kind of like exploring it. That's the best way. I'm a seeker and explorer, just like you guys. Okay, so this is how I'm feeling this. When I think of halo, I think it is not just reserved for ascended masters. I think that halos are not meant just for sages and saints and holy people. I think that everyone has a halo. I think that every single soul, and I believe every single animal from a frog to a dog to a horse to a person, every single living thing has a soul, and that soul has a halo. And the halo is something that we can physically see if we allow ourselves to do it. I recently talked about Dr. Tara Swart. Dr. Swart is a neuroscientist and an MD, and she was talking about how her husband had crossed to the other side about 4 years ago. And she came out of the spiritual closet to say that, um, as a neuroscientist, she knew she was really taking a risk to say that she had seen her husband, physically seen her husband. And what it looked like to her was that he was trying to push through. So if we are here in the physical, everything that we see is a physical manifestation, a material thing, whether it's a pen, a glass of water, a light, it's a desk, it's a physical thing. But surrounding us, as we've talked about many times, is this beautiful field, this quantum field of all that is. We're part of it. We're in it. It's part of this cosmic soup that we all exist in. And she could see her husband almost kind of trying to push through, like he wanted her to see, and he was doing his absolute best to make himself visible to her. And it didn't last for very long. It was just a matter of moments before it faded back, and he was gone. But she said she could see everything from the top of his head to the tips of his toes. She could see everything, and then he was gone. Um, so it led her to study neuroscience, and that was a whole different route, that she wanted to understand how the brain could actually make these connections. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, how your brain is designed to do these things that we're talking about. So when I ask you later in just a few minutes I'm checking the time here. Yeah. When I ask you in just a few minutes to try to visualize your animal companion with a halo, I'm going to ask you to picture the halo first and then see if they come through. You're going to feel something first. It's either going to be a feeling or a thought. But when you start to practice with this on a regular basis, I think if every day before you went to bed or every day when you wake up, you visualize a halo and ask your animal companion to step into that halo, or you open your eyes, this might be the way to do it. As I'm thinking about this now, when I go to sleep at night, I like to sleep in a totally dark room. I don't like any LED lights. We talked about activating the pineal gland a couple weeks ago. I like everything dark. I don't like anything. I don't like a little light on the TV. I don't like the alarm clock. No, I don't even have an alarm clock in my bedroom. I don't keep the phone by my side. Everything has to be pitch black. And even I've got, for the smoke detector up there, I have black electrical tape over that silly green light because it's like a laser beam shooting right into my eyes. I like a totally dark room. If you can get your room as dark as possible, and if you can't, then put on a sleep mask, but keep your eyes open in the dark. Keep your eyes open in the dark and look for a halo. Just watch for the halo and see if you don't start to see a glow. And if you start to see that glow, ask your animal companion to try to come through. It may not happen right away, and it may take you a while in order even to see the halo. But I mentioned this last week too. I think that our animal companions are on the same journey as us in terms of learning. So when they cross to the other side, they're figuring out, they've got access to a few more tools than we have here. We're limited to our physical bodies. They have no limits over there. They're learning how to get through to us. So they're learning how to send as much as we are learning how to receive. And so we practice the reception part, practice being able to see and trust that you're going to see that halo. I'm going to try this tonight and I'll report back to you guys next week. I'm going to try it every night. I'm going to stay in the dark room. And if my room is not dark enough, I'm going to put on my sleep mask and I'm going to keep my eyes open. And in the dark, I'm going to take note of what I see. And I don't know if anybody, you can even put it in the comments if anybody's ever seen things with their eyes closed, like behind your eyelids. Sometimes I will see, I see waves of color. Sometimes I see spots of color. It's very interesting what we see, what our brain sees when our eyelids are closed. Um, okay, so back, I'm checking my notes here real quick to make sure that I don't miss anything. Halos, the oldest, most universal spiritual symbol. They represent enlightenment, consciousness, closeness to the divine. I'm inviting you to try to see your pet through that lens, through that light. Um, what else did I write here? So sometimes I scribble and I don't understand my own handwriting. Animals are sentient beings, aware of their own existence. Already shared that. They teach us love. They teach us presence, compassion. Um, okay, so let's see. Electromagnetic. That was the other thing. Halos could be an electromagnetic signal. So it's not just that you're not just imagining that you're seeing a light. It's an actual electromagnetic piece of their energy that's able to come through that we're able to visualize. And I wonder if when some of our animal companions, we've talked about this before, when they look off into the corner, when cats stare up at the corner, or I had those two Weimaraners that I was house sitting for that just kept staring at one part of the wall when we were doing Reiki. They're staring at this, they both looked over and there was nothing there. It was just me and three dogs. That was it. Um, I wonder if they don't see something like that, because their ability to see things is different. Their visual, whatever they see, I don't know what the name of that is. I do, it's just not escaping me. They can see things in different frequencies than we do. And I wonder if they're not able to see that electromagnetic signature, which we translate as a halo. The other thing is that it could be a portal between dimensions could be another way to look at it. So if we see the halo, it's as if it's an opening, and that opening allows us to be able to see our animal companion and allows them to be able to see us. So I'm supposing things right here. I'm suggesting them, and I have not explored it any further than that. Then Sharon, it made me think of you. I'm wondering if orbs are not a form of halo. Sharon, if for those of you who don't know, has a really cool connection with orbs. Whenever she takes a photo in the dark, try doing that. Try doing that. Sharon just when it's dark, she uses her cell phone and she just takes a picture of the dark. Or takes a video of the dark, and there are orbs. I'm wondering if orbs aren't also a form of halo, and that the light is that electromagnetic signature, and we are getting a physical manifestation when we see a halo, an orb, or just a glow of light. So look for the visual, and that it's a portal between dimensions, and look for your own. Like, I think that we each have a halo. I truly, truly believe that. I don't think it's reserved just for ascended masters, for special people. There are wonderful. I mean, I know that there are souls that have evolved to such a degree that their whole existence is one of peace and beauty and calm and love, and they've left behind their ego, and they've left behind all judgment, and their pure, beautiful, loving existence is like the Buddha, like Jesus, that they have earned a halo. And their halo may shine a little bit brighter, but I think that all of us have that inside of us, and we're all looking for that, and we are all having these conversations, and our animal companions, it's like they're being not sent, because I think that they are willing participants. I think that they are happily being our teachers and showing us that we have more inside of us than we give ourselves credit for. And but there are some of us, I know, I beat myself up over, I used to say to myself, I literally used to say to myself, I don't deserve to speak again. That was the stupidest thing I've ever said. And I just should just like sew my mouth shut so that I don't say stupid things anymore. And now, now I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't judge myself for those things anymore. I don't even where I was going with that. Oh, that they're teaching us that we have they're so much better. We are so much better than we give ourselves credit for, and that we have halos ourselves. Take a picture of yourself in the dark and see if you don't see a little glow of light flowing around you. Um, all right. I think that's it. Let's do this little guided awareness practice. Super, super easy. I'm going to try to do one of these every single time. Now, for a long time, and I may go back to it, for a long time, I would close these little live streams with a reading for an animal companion. And then our animal companions, that's when they really started saying, we love talking to you. We'll talk to you for as long as you want to talk to us because we love that there's somebody here who sees us and will chat with us. But we really want to talk to our human companion. And so I started instead kind of shifting a little bit to do practices that allow you to receive your message directly from your animal companion. So we're going to do this little guided awareness practice. And then I'm just going to close things up and I'll look at questions too to see if there was anything else, to see if there were any other follow-ups. So if you're in a place where you can right now, this doesn't take more than a minute. Doesn't take more than a minute. We do not have to go through hours of sitting in guided visualizations. You can, and they're really cool. I love to listen to guided visualizations. Sometimes they take me on a little mental journey that is so amazing that when I wake up, I'm like, oh, that was really interesting. But you can connect with your animal companion like that, like that. You don't even have to give it a second thought. But we're going to do this quick little exercise. 1 minute, if you're in a place where you can, and you're sitting and you can close your eyes, but if you're driving, don't do that. Operating heavy machinery, wait till later. Take a nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. When we focus on our breath, just that alone helps to quiet our mind. And if thoughts start to come in as we're doing this, just let them. Laugh at them, joke at them, say, be gone, be gone. Just relax. And I always say to myself, there's nothing more important right now than me connecting with Lucy. Lucy's who wants to come through for me tonight. There is nothing, absolutely nothing more important than my Lucy for this next moment in time. Place your hand on your heart, and I invite you to breathe in through your head. Allow that breath to pour in through your whole head. Let it flow down to your heart. And I want you to visualize around your own head that beautiful halo. You have got a halo. I don't care what you think you've done. The past is the past. Whatever you've been holding yourself responsible for, it's done. You have a halo. I know. And you know what? If nobody has told you today, you're loved. You are loved. I love you. I love you. I love every single person who might be hearing this message. And and I love the ones who aren't hearing this message. See your halo, feel your halo, even if you can't visualize it. Know that you have got this beautiful glowing light. I can see it shining right above your head. And now I want you to visualize right in front of you, there's another little halo. And right under that beautiful glowing halo is your animal companion. Together, the two of you, beautiful, energetic souls, with your beautiful little halos shining bright, your heart filled with so much love. And just ask them for a little message. One little message, whatever that might be, a bark, a purr, a sound, their name, a feeling, just the feeling of your heart swelling. Whatever message is for you, just accept it and know what it is right now. Another deep breath. You could stay here if you want to. You could stay hanging out in your little halos with your animal. But for me, I'm going to come back. I can feel Lucy. Lucy's being so silly, like she's chasing her halo. That's the visual that she just gave me as she sees this halo, and her little crazy self is chasing this halo around. What a fun little message. Thank you, Lucy. Playful, so playful. So what we talked about tonight, let me check and see if there's any questions here real quick. trying too hard. So I'm not gonna, I will, yes, I use my camera phone for videos. All right, you guys are doing, I would love to see an aura. Um, I will make myself a little note. Maybe we can do that next week. Now, if you are able and you want to jump into, I still have, there's plenty of room actually. I can take as many people as want to join into the psychic development class. It's not like the Reiki class where we have to really cut it off at a certain number. If you want to join, it starts Thursday night. It's Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I do it by Zoom so we can actually talk and get to know each other. And it's not like one of these classes where like you have to watch a little video and and if it's self-paced and then maybe you'll do two or three and then you're like, oh, I'll come back to it. You never do. This is me and you and a group of people and we practice together and we take practice home. We take it away and then we come back the next week and we talk about what worked, what didn't work. We learn about all kinds of um, it's like a primer in psychic things, ESP things, but everything. We talk about crystals, we talk about magic, we talk about telepathy, we talk about mediumship. And then we try to practice these things, and we talk to each other and ask questions. So it's really a very interactive kind of learning. But we will be learning about auras, but maybe I'll do a little mini session on auras next week, and how you can begin to see auras because you can see them around anything. I love to see auras around trees. I have my beautiful plant here. I see an aura around her all the time. You can see auras around inanimate objects. You can see auras around crystals and rocks, and you can see auras along the edge of the ocean. Auras are beautiful. Anywho, what did we talk about tonight? I'm going to let you guys. My phone camera comment was for you regarding orbs. Okay, let's go back and check that out. Yes, I use my camera phone videos, and they are all sized orbs flying past all around. I actually screenshotted one of the orbs in a video. Yes, that is exactly what Sharon does too. So that's another option for you guys if you want to give it a try. And I have not tried that yet, and I need to try it. I've had some cool things show up on my cell phone, but I have not done the orb thing yet. So I will try that also along with my sleeping and with my eyes open in the dark. Okay, so key points. We talked about halos, enlightenment, awareness, our consciousness, the whole thing of love, that halos could be an actual physical manifestation coming through from the other side, that we have to train our eyes how to see them. And I think that's all I wanted to share tonight. So, my friends, thank you so much for. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Who else did I see? Charlie. I saw somebody else pop up there with a comment too. This old horse girl. What is Reiki? Oh, this old horse girl. What is Reiki? Oh my gosh, will get me started. Reiki, it's a Japanese tradition. It's a Japanese tradition of it means universal energy, and it's how we tap into the universal energy that surrounds, flows to, through, and around us, and how we really kind of channel it. And we use that. It's love. Like at its very core, it's tapping into a field of love and how to access that so that we can. It's whether it's for people or animals. I do it with animals. I help their body to harmonize and balance through a series of hand placements. And that's the super simplistic version. Series of hand placements over their body that allows their system to rebalance and harmonize, and it helps to relieve pain and anxiety and stress, and it does so much more. But you can always look it up, and we can. I've done some other session. I've done a session like a live stream on Reiki, and I could always do another one. And I also teach it if anybody is ever interested in that. So yeah, we can always talk more about that. And don't worry, I never knew what Reiki was either. I was getting my nails done. I was, I used to long before 2020. I used to get my nails done. I was getting my nails done, and my nail technician started talking about Reiki, and I was like, what, what? I have no clue what you're talking about. And now I throw it out there just as easily because I'm so used to it. And she's she's the person who first got me started doing all this. I think about that now. Her name was Abby. Abby, if you ever catch this video, thank you. Okay, let's see. Z has a question. Z has a question. You guys, Z has a question. Okay, I'm going back up. Let me find Z's question. How do we join? Oh, thank you. I will. I have posted a link in the under the post tab, or you can go to my website, animalreikilady.com, or I can post it. I will pin it. I will put a pinned comment. So when this live stream is over, it usually takes YouTube, for whatever reason, like sometimes it takes hours to process this video. But so maybe tomorrow morning, I will create a comment that has a link. It's a pin, and I'll pin it, and you just click the link and sign up. Or I can email you. I can email you, Z. I think I have your email. But I try to make it as accessible. It's all over my social media too. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my Instagram page. Um, it's called the Animal Mystic Masterclass. And I do it because I incorporate animals into everything. Everything I'm just so drawn to the magical, mystical things that animals know and that they have to teach us. So I tie that all into psychic development. I hope that answered your question. Okay, let's see what else we got. That people dismiss animals and our feelings for them. Yep, and you know what, Dana? I've also gotten over that. Somebody once told me, one of my own spiritual teachers once said to me, "Don't ever expect your family to understand what you're doing." And I went, "Oh," because I really like I would like make an argument, and and he said to me, Just let it go. Your family's not, most of them are not ever going to understand what you're going through." And so I let that go too. When I like stopped eating meat and I started getting judged for it. Yeah, just we're on our own journey. That's okay. Last one. Did you do anything for your birthday? Oh, yeah, that's right. I normally don't announce my birthday. I let it go quietly. It just so happened that, and my birthday was Saturday. It just so happened that my new website got completed at my, it was like the day before my birthday. And so I thought, oh, we'll just do a little like celebration. Oh yeah, that's right. If you sign up through the website, I'll just tell you guys, welcome 15. For the whole month of October, I decided to just give everybody 15% off of any service or any class as a way to introduce the new website. But it all came together at one time. My birthday, the website, my class is starting. So I just kind of like threw it all together. And welcome 15, all caps, WELCOME 15. We'll get you 15% off. So if it's normally $99, it brings that down to something. I don't remember. Do the math. Okay, I gotta go. I love you guys so much. I'm 21 now. Yeah, right. Now you look 21. Inside joke from Robbie, wherever. I haven't seen Robbie in a couple of weeks. Thank you for sharing that, Charlie. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you guys on Thursday. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday. Take care. I love you guys so much. May animals light your way. Good night, everybody.